Hello, I'm Earl Slick, and you're watching The Music Scene.
Who are your guitar heroes and idols?
Number one, Keith Richards. As everything about Keith Richards, the way he plays, he is the epitome of the art form of rock and roll from top to bottom, period. If you put rock and roll in a dictionary, Keith's picture should be there over and above, I think, even Elvis, over everybody. Sorry, E. But as guitar players, I listened a lot to Keith. Brian Jones, the original, for the younger folks, was the actual founder of the Rolling Stones, who passed away in 1969. I learned how to play slide guitar from listening because he played slide a lot. But Keith ended up being the guy. I can take Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, roll them all in a ball, and Keith and Brian, and over a period of years, all of that morphed into what I turned into. Those, I'd say, were my favorite guys.
Speaking of guitar
Oh,
idols...
Django Reinhardt. Sometimes I don't know how to do it. I mean, for anybody who's not familiar with him, I mean, check him out. I mean, it's a very unique... you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. He a lot of the records were done in the 30s in France and in Belgium, and it is bizarre. They call it gypsy jazz. It's very strange stuff, but very cool to listen to because it's very unusual. But I mean, it's on Mars. I don't even know where to start, but it's fun to listen to.
Well, speaking of guitar idols, you replaced Stevie Ray Vaughan on David Bowie's Serious Moonlight tour in 1983. Did you find it difficult to come in and do that tour, and did it flow for you?
I had no problem at all because I had played most of the stuff at one time or another. It was the only thing that was stressful about it was so last minute. So I had to learn the whole show in 3 days. So I had to fly to Belgium, where we were doing the dress rehearsals, from L.A., and David says, we got the US Festival coming up in 2 weeks. It's a huge show. You think you can do it? I said, when's the first show? He goes, 3 days. He says, I'll get the first one. And I just, day and night, just went over everything. And I did it.
I had mentioned to my friends back home that have bands that I was going to be interviewing you, and they were amazed and couldn't say enough good things about your playing and just you as a musician. How does it feel to get responses like that and being considered a musical icon?
It depends who it's coming from. The guy that built this guitar has been working on my other guitars. He does my, if something needs to be adjusted or I need some, just maintenance, work done. And I had a couple of guitars stolen, one of which was really not replaceable. And he said, I'm going to build you one. I said, so I asked him the price. He said, nothing. I said, what do you mean? He said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have started playing guitar. And if I didn't start playing guitar, I wouldn't have started fixing them. And if I didn't start fixing them, I wouldn't be having such a good time and making a good living. So all that good music to you, this is your present for a thank you. That was the best thing. I mean, I'm not that visibly emotional, but I swear to God, I almost started bawling when he told me that. It was weird because I don't think of it like that, I mean, when I'm home, I'm running around in the woods with my dog and stuff like that, or playing with a kid out in the snow, it's I don't like being referred to as a rock star, and I have worked for a few people of late that are into the rock star LA thing, and I find it deplorable. You know, I'm just a working guy that happened to get some notoriety because of what I do for a living and associations I've had.
Has there ever been a time when you were at someone else's live show or recording with someone that they just like blew you away with what they were doing?
Zeppelin, Jeff Beck. I've actually seen some bands that I couldn't even tell you who they were, that never made it, that blew me right through the wall. Every once in a while. It's been a while. Where you'll just walk in there, somebody's, oh, go see this new band down the street, and they go, oh my God. Yeah. You know, some of which will never see the light of day, but there've been many, many experiences where I've walked out like really, like, wow.
So along those lines, what bands right now are you listening to that you're kind of into?
Right now, I got to get tickets to see Muse somehow, because they're finally breaking. It took them a while, because they've been running Europe, but the States hadn't caught on, and the States obviously has, because they've got big dates set up. That's on my number one. And Pearl Jam being back with that new album. That new album, Eddie kicks ass, the whole band. Oh my! I mean, I heard the track, The Fixer, on the radio, and I went, oh boy, sounds like they're. You know how hard it is to come back with a record that good after you've been kind of like underground for a while, and with all the integrity, they didn't turn into a pop band. They still sound like Pearl Jam. It's just a great record, and that's another. When they start hitting dates, I will. Whatever I got to do.
Beg, steal, borrow.
Oh, call up and beg Clear Channel. Find out. Get in there.
So, what's next for Earl Slick? What's next on the horizon?
God, I've got a number of things going on at the moment. I've been doing a lot of writing, and I've been doing a lot of art. I've been doing this, painting guitars. I've got a line of straps coming out that are similar to this distressed look that will come out sometime in March or April. I'm working with a Canadian singer, a very famous named Monique Jean, who she's a big star in the French-speaking Canada, and we're getting ready to do another record, which we're going to do both in English and French. I think we start in November, so that's on the calendar as well. I've been doing some things like this, and I've also, with the art thing going on, I've actually managed. I've got some friends in the fashion business now, so when they do events, we have a little group of us, like myself and Steve Conti from the New York Dolls, and Marky Ramone, and a few guys, and like John Varvatos, the designer, bought the CBGB space, and that's his new showroom, and he has gigs in there. We played. I have a little band with myself and Clem Burke from Blondie, and Glenn Matlock, the original Sex Pistols bass player, and a fashion designer / punk singer named Keenan Dufty. Keenan has gone on to design clothes for David Bowie, but he still likes to sing. So whenever we can get us all in the same place, we book a few gigs. No big plans on doing another Earl Slick album at the moment, but that's what I said right before I did Zigzag. So
there you go. Well, thank you so much for joining me here, Earl. To learn more about Earl Slick, you can catch him on MySpace, Facebook, or just search Earl Slick anywhere online. The legend, the icon, Mr. Earl Slick. I'm Darren Frommel, and this is The Music Scene.
Thank you, Earl Slick, for playing with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I tell you, these are always fun, and thanks to parents for coming out. And give the kids a hand. They really work really hard, and they're kicking some butt. Oh, yes.